Let's take a visit to the heart of the Spanish capital. A city renowned for many things, including its food, nightlife, football, and most relevant to today's visit, its art and culture. It is host to three of the most important museums in Europe, the so-called Golden Triangle of Art. These museums are none other than the Museo Nacional del Prado, the Museo Nacional Centro de Arte Reina Sofía, and the Museo Thyssen-Bornemisza. Despite my heart's desire to be able to visit all three, today's visit will be focused solely on the Museo Thyssen-Bornemisza. This will be so that we can ensure an in-depth overview and walkthrough of this wonderful museum. Inside of its walls, the Thyssen houses what once was one of the largest and most valuable private art collections in the world, belonging to the Thyssen-Bornemisza family. In fact, it's the second largest private art collection in the world, behind the British Royal Collection. Oh, but before we dive into the collection, let's take a second to talk about the walls themselves. Located in Paseo del Prado, the home of this collection is the beautiful neoclassical palace Palacio de Villahermosa, originally built in the 1700s and later remodeled and refurbished in 1990 to accommodate and display the collection by the Pritzker-winning architect Rafael Moneo.
Rafael Moneo, muy buenas tardes, bienvenido.
Pues muchas gracias, Antonio, por esta invitación y vamos a ver qué sale y qué resulta de ella.
Bueno, algo bueno seguro.
In case you don't know, the Pritzker Prize is considered to be the Nobel Prize of Architecture, so I think it's clear that the design of the museum was in good hands. Now let's talk about the collection. If the Museo del Prado focuses on antique, classical art, and Reina Sofía is all about modern art, the Thyssen is the perfect and eclectic combination of the two. The collection is, truly, an art aficionado's lucid dream. It includes artworks which range from the Renaissance, Baroque, and Rococo periods, from artists such as Antonello da Messina, Bramantino, Titian, Caravaggio, Guercino, Rubens, Van Dyck, and Rembrandt, amongst many others, to a massive assortment of works which span most of the main artistic movements of the 19th and 20th century, from artists such as Francisco de Goya, Claude Monet, Auguste Renoir, Edgar Degas, Toulouse-Lautrec, Paul Gauguin, Cézanne, Van Gogh, Picasso, Edvard Munch, Egon Schiele, Kandinsky, Salvador Dalí, Magritte, Jackson Pollock, Roy Lichtenstein, Francis Bacon, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, personally, my four favorite pieces from the collection have to be Dalí's Dream Caused by the Flight of a Beer on the Pomegranate a Second Before Awakening, Waterloo Bridge by André Derain, Van Gogh's, I don't know how to pronounce that,
Les Vaisseaux Innovers,
and Woman in Bath by Roy Lichtenstein. Starting with Dalí's artwork, I feel inclined to say that this is probably my favorite painting of his and one of my overall favorite artworks of all time. It is surrealism to its maximum expression. Nothing in the painting makes sense, and the subjects in the painting are, by definition, completely random, but Dalí is able to combine them masterfully to create a piece that truly embodies the feeling of a fever dream, and that, to me, is absolutely captivating. Add to that the masterful technique displayed by Dalí, the soft colors, the creativity, and you get this iconic piece. Second in my list is André Derain's Waterloo Bridge, which exquisitely combines the beauty of Fauvist colors with the expressiveness of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist technique, more specifically, pointillism. The artwork depicts London's Waterloo Bridge, but contrary to what the real scene would probably look like, with the cold muted tones characteristic to London's weather, Derain depicts the scene with vibrant yellows, greens, reds and blues, which combine to create a truly beautiful painting. Next, continuing with my admiration of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist technique and aesthetic, comes a work from none other than Vincent van Gogh, possibly the most renowned artist of the latter and undoubtedly one of my favorites. The artwork on display here is perhaps not his most famous, but it is a textbook example of what made Van Gogh's artwork so unique and so interesting, mainly with that impasto that is so thick and just feels so full of expression and emotion. This landscape was painted weeks before his suicide, and you can just feel the conflicting emotions that he transmits through the colors and the brush strokes, a sense of freedom but also a feeling of sadness and melancholia. And last but not least, we fast forward to something almost completely different, to Roy Lichtenstein's blue, red and yellow depiction of a subject much addressed in art history, the Bath of Venus, Woman in Bath. It belongs to the pop art movement, which, in my opinion, is one of the most interesting movements in the history of art because of its social implications and history. It was, along with Dada, one of the first times that art truly began to be used as a medium for critique and social commentary, and has since shaped the art scene of what ultimately today is called contemporary art. It's difficult to grasp the true influence of this seemingly simple three-colored cartoony artwork. Sadly, that is all we have time for today, but it has been an absolute blast. I loved being able to see some of the artworks of some of my favorite and most influential artists of all time. It just gives me this warm feeling, I don't know how to describe it, and that's the magic of art. It really is magic.